morning. We're going to start English. We've got 4 English lessons this week to do, and I think it's going to be pretty easy for you because you seem to be a very good writer. Your sentences always look very good. So we're going to be on lesson 22 today. Really this week, it's a lot of rules that we have to go over. I think most of the rules you already probably know, but we have to go over them again. So let's look on page 43 and 44. All right. At the top of page 43, there's a big yellow box with some purple ones inside. Those are all the different capitalization rules we have to remember. Before we start, I want to remind you and talk about nouns. You remember a noun is a person, place, or a thing. Then we learned about there's 2 different kinds of nouns. There's a common noun and a proper noun. Now remember, a common noun can just be anything. It could be girl, boy, book, desk, chair, restaurant, whatever. A proper noun, though, names a particular one. It would be Sally, Robert, Burger King, particular ones, Texas, Winsboro, okay? And proper nouns are always capitalized, okay? That's why we have to go over the capitalization rules. We're going to be talking about capitalizing proper nouns. So let's look up there at number 1, that very first thing. We have to capitalize names, initials, and titles of people. So you have Eliza White. Okay, you would capitalize both of her names, her first name and her last name, because it's not 2 different people, it's the same person. So we uppercase the whole thing. Reverend Johnson, we'd uppercase that because his name isn't Reverend Johnson, but that's his title. He's a reverend, so you'd uppercase that. Grandma. Now, sometimes you would uppercase grandma and sometimes you wouldn't. If you said, that's my grandma, you would not give it a capital because in that sentence it would just be common. But if you say, Grandma, can I have some cookies? You're calling her by her name. So we'll go over that later on. I just kind of give you a hint of that. Dr. Harris. Doctor is the title of that person. H.T. Manning. His first and middle name, it has the initials there. So you would put a period after each initial and you would capitalize each initial. Governor Stevens, you'd capitalize that because that's his title. Look at number 2. You always capitalize names and titles for God. Father, Holy Spirit, Son of God, Shepherd, and there's many more. But those are just a few of the ones that you would uppercase. All right, number 3, capitalize names of buildings. Empire State Building. All of the wording that names it would be uppercased. So Empire State Building, all those words on there would be uppercased. How about Grandville Courthouse? See how they capitalize the first letter in each one of those because it's one place, proper noun. Number 4, capitalize names of streets, cities, states, countries, continents, rivers, lakes, and oceans. Let's look at these. Drake Drive. Even the word drive or road or avenue or boulevard, even those are capitalized because that's the name of the street or the boulevard or the avenue or the road or whatever it is. How about Irrawaddy River? You would uppercase the word river. Phoenix, Arizona, that's the city and the state. You'd always capitalize that. Lake Michigan, because lake is part of the name. Lake Winsboro would be uppercased, both Lake and Winsboro. Ghana, West Africa, all of that's uppercased. Atlantic Ocean, you would capitalize both of those. Look at number 5. Capitalize names of specific days of the week, months, and holidays. Friday, September. Now look at 4th of July. 4th and July are uppercased. Christmas Day would be uppercase. Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, Father's Day. Any of those holidays you would capitalize both of the words of those. Even the word day would be capitalized. What about number 6? Capitalize names of teams, businesses, and organizations. Los Angeles Lakers, Sam's Quick Mart, Congress, or the place that I don't like to go, Walmart, Brookshire's, Dollar General, Family Dollar. All of those you would capitalize. I don't like to go shopping. I hate to go to the store. And you would also, in number 7, you would capitalize abbreviations of proper nouns. An abbreviation is a shortened way to write it. For instance, instead of writing out the whole word Mr., M-I-S-T-E-R, Mr. Turner, you would just put M-R period. That's an abbreviation. Or instead of saying, I don't know if that's state or street. I think that's street. Or street is S-T-R period, I think. Maybe that's street. I'm not sure what that is. We'd have to look. You can look in your book on the back in 344 and 345 to find out what that is. I'm not sure if that's street or state. I think I know what it is. Let's look back here and just see what it is. I don't know if I have this back here. Do I have this back here like you do? It says that I might. 340 for the grammar handbook. Oh, mine is on S33. Well, let's just find S33 and see what ST is. All right. Oh, yeah. Wow. All of these are great abbreviations. Awesome. Yeah, ST is street. I thought it was STR. So ST is street. Wednesday is WED period. Now look at CO. It doesn't have a period, does it? And both letters are capitalized. They changed this when I was a kid. When you abbreviate the name of your state, you have to abbreviate both letters. That means you take two. For Texas, the abbreviation is capital T, capital X, and you don't put a period after it. I still do sometimes just because that's the way we did it when I was younger, and then they changed it. But when you do the states now, you put both letters capitalized and you don't put a period on there. All right, let's look at the guided practice. All right, so what your job is to do is on numbers 1 through 3, you need to mark the letters that should be capitalized using the proofreading mark. Remember, proofreading, you have to put 3 little lines underneath every letter that should be capitalized. 3 little tiny lines under there. All right, and then on 4 through 10, you need to look back in your book on page 345, that grammar handbook where I was just at, and you're going to write the correct abbreviations for the days of the week. All right, so I'd like for you to pause it right quick and do that, and then I'm going to check this with you. So go ahead and pause it as you finish it. Did you finish the page? All right, I'm going to do something really weird, and I'm probably going to make you dizzy. But I'm going to take this camera down, and I'm going to pull it around here so that you can see the answers if I can hold it up there correctly. Do you see that? All right, so you're going to need to pause it right quick. It's a little bit blurry, and see if you might check that. Okay, if that was a little bit blurry, at least maybe you could see which ones you were supposed to capitalize. You couldn't hardly see the 3 little lines underneath each letter, but it was easier than me having to hold the page up and keep it all straight and everything. But anyway, and if you did your abbreviations from page 345, you should have gotten those right. Okay, then your job is to do page 44 for a grade, okay? Now, look at the bottom of page 44 where it says apply and write. It says to write today's date using the correct abbreviation, include the day of the week. And then under that it says to write your address, use the first line for the street address and the second for the city and the state. So I'm going to put on the screen, I'm going to put the thing up here, and I'm going to help you with the apply and write if you don't know how to do it, okay? Now, on the rest of the page, it's pretty much everything you've already done on the other page. You're just going to put the 3 little lines underneath every single. You have to read each one of those sentences very carefully Put your 3 lines under which things need to be uppercased. And then you can use your handbook on page 345 to write the correct abbreviations. Make sure you uppercase everything and put periods where they belong as well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get the screen on here and see if I can help you with that applying right. Okay, let me see if I can get this to where I can write in it. There we go. All right, so on that applying right, it wants us to write today's date using the correct abbreviation. So let's see. Ooh, well, I made that big, didn't I? We don't want that so big. Okay, so here, let's do this. There's different ways that you can write it, but we're just going to write it out. So this is what you're going to do. Now, I'm going to write the date for today. Let's see. I'm not sure what day you're doing this. I think it's November the 11th. So this is how we're going to write it. Are you ready? It's going to be, whoa, that's too big. Don't you think? Yeah, it's a little bit too big. Let's move this back over this away. Wow, how did my Monday get so big? Let's do this. Let's just get rid of that and start back over. How about that? Wow, that was kind of weird. Okay, so this is going to be in red. Are you ready? Are you ready? Here we go. Monday, November 11th, comma, 2019. That should be the date you write. Monday is uppercased. November is uppercased. Day of the week, month of the year. And that's how you write it. Now, the reason I wanted to show you that is because there's other ways you can write the date. You can also do this where you leave the day off. Well, if you count the months of the year, there's 12 of them. And November is the 11th month. So if you want to do it the short way, you just put 11. That would be the number of the month. The next number will be the day, which is today's 11. And then you can put the last 2 digits of the year, 11, 11, 19. You can do it that way too. But this is the way I want you to write it out because it wants you to use the uppercase. And then on the address, make sure you put your address in there. There's 2 lines. So on the second line is where you're going to put Winsboro, comma, Texas. Make sure you use the correct abbreviation for Texas, okay? All right, when you're done, that is all for today.